All right, welcome everybody to My Favorite Things. This is my 16th anniversary with Young Living. So we signed up May 8th of 2007, which when we signed up, many of you know my story. I'm Britta Dimmler. We signed up, I signed Kirk up because I said, I am never going to do this. I'm never going to use these oils. There's no way that I'm going to tell anybody about this business. This is a crazy thing. You want to do this? It's your name on the account. You tell me what to order because he just won't do computers, and I will order whatever, but don't ask me to do anything with them. I'm not putting them on, nothing. And so he wisely said, okay, that sounds great. And many of you know the story that when we got our kit, actually, when we first got our kit, it sat on the shelf for a couple weeks, I would say, probably, until my kids, when they were little, fell down a lot. And they would come in crying to me and say, Mommy, I need lavender oil for my owies because Daddy puts lavender on. And I would try to convince them to let me put anything else on. Let's just clean it with a washcloth, whatever. And they would insist on lavender because that's what Daddy used. And so I really honestly thought aromatherapy, it's just the scent, it's calming them down, because I did notice that, right? I just kind of dismissed it at that. And then we actually had an experience a couple weeks later, or maybe about a month and a half later. We were on vacation, actually 2 months later. My daughter was on a bunk bed. She had reached out for the ceiling fan switch while the fan was on high. Her arm was too short. She got smacked in the forehead with the fan blade. And I pulled her off the bed. Of course, she's screaming. And I pulled her off. I remember pulling her off that bed and taking her out to the living room, putting her on the couch, and getting lavender out of my purse, because I knew lavender would calm her down so that I could assess what was going on, right? So I put a drop of lavender on it. I got out my handy dandy little reference guide. It's, a little travel one. And I looked up, I don't know, head injury or something, wound. And it called for a blend of oils that I had bought that month or the month before, because it was on sale at 10% off. And that was a special that Young Living did back in 2007, was they offered things to us, one item a month at 10% off. And I thought, if I have to buy these silly oils, I'm buying them when they're on sale. I'm not buying them at even at the wholesale cost. So that's why I had the oil blend called Melrose. And I wish I had it with me right now, because you guys, this blend changed my life more than lavender, because we put a drop of lavender and a drop of Melrose on her forehead. My mom tried to put ice on it, but Caden she was 4 at the time, so she wasn't having anything to do with ice. That's cold and it hurts. But 2 drops of oil, and we watched the goose egg and the swelling and the bruise dissolve within probably less than a minute. I didn't time it, but I remember sitting there going, oh my goodness, what is happening here? What is happening here? And my mom actually said, what is that? What did you put on her? What in the world? And, I said, it's these oils. I don't know anything about them, but they work. And inside, I'll honestly say I was not happy about them working, because now Kirk was right? And he knew we needed, but really God knew that we needed these oils in our lives. And so that was really the start of our journey. And today, you guys, lavender's okay. It's still not my favorite. 16 years later, I use it when I often forget about it unless, I touch the stove or something dumb. But Melrose is still an oil that we use a lot at my house. And so I love to, if my ears feel stuffy or, things just feel kind of clogged, I love to put a roller bottle or a roller top. We're just going to pretend this is Melrose, and I literally will roll it on, or I'll just put it, if it's not in a roller, and I am rubbing it all down. And sometimes I'll even put it in my ear with my finger, right? So I'm not dripping oil in my ear, but I roll it and rub it all the way down. And I feel that pressure just relieve. Sorry, my dogs are barking. So Melrose is one that I would still say 16 years later is still one of my favorite oil blends. It's a blend. A couple other blends that I have that are my favorites. And then I would love for you guys to share yours. Just in the last couple of years, Endoflex. And this one does have a roller on it, because I literally roll this on every single day, right here across my thyroid area, and then across my lower back. So I hit my adrenals every day. Now, my 17-year-old's downstairs, so I don't want to say this too loudly, but she at times gets a little bit moody. And we made a pact this because we were having some major head challenges, right? And so I said, all right, listen, you don't have to use anything else, but you have to put this on. No, nowhere near her face because she doesn't want to smell. So she puts this on her lower back every day, and she puts it around the inside of her ankle bones, or she's supposed to. And will tell you, I can tell when she does not put them on because she is snippy and moody and not so pleasant to be around. Okay. When she puts this on and when I put it on, life is better at the Dimmler house. Wouldn't you agree, Kirk?
Yes, I would.
He was very cautious about saying that, but let's just be honest. It makes a difference. So I love Endoflex. If you haven't used this, please do. I've seen many people say it's their tantrum tamer, even with younger kids. So don't be afraid to just get it on them. Again, ideally low back if you can, but you guys, you can put it, I've put it on my forehead before, or you can just sprinkle it on people, whatever. So this is a must have in my opinion. And then my other favorite for just emotions and just life in general is Sacred Mountain. When I'm feeling stressed, this is this is better for me than Stress Away, I think. I love Sacred Mountain, and I love to diffuse it. I love to put it on. It calms me. It helps me just kind of like settle. It slows my mind down a bit, and I think it smells delightful. So I'm gonna let Kirk share just an oil right now, or your favorite oil or two.
Okay.
Go.
Idaho Blue Spruce, because it's good for us fellows, because whether we want to believe it or not, we do have hormones and all that other stuff that goes along with them. So, and I keep seeing commercials saying that as I grow older, my testosterone level is falling. I don't claim that. I think they're crazy, but does it help me wake up earlier in the morning?
It does. Yeah. Okay. So Idaho Blue Spruce is one of his favorites.
Right in my mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There you have it. So right in the mouth. Okay. You guys, you can really, you can get used to oils in the mouth. I think Sandy Rund, I hope you share your DiGi story, because I can do that now, but all right. I'm going to open it up to you guys. Who wants to share? Maybe one or two of you just jump in and share a favorite oil or two of yours that you think, I don't know how I would live without this.
Okay, I'll go first because I might have to hop off for a few minutes, but
Perfect.
I'm really into myrrh right now. I love myrrh. My skin I've been under horrific amounts of stress, and my skin has been a hot mess, like teenage hot mess. And so I've been putting myrrh on my face. I put a roller bottle on it. When it's very sticky. So when it gets clogged up, I add a little bit of neem oil to the bottle, because I read that that's really good for your skin as well when you have breakouts and stuff. So I've been rolling that on like it's my stinking job. And then I also have really fallen in love with marjoram at night, because I have a lot of issues with leg cramps, like debilitating leg cramps. And regardless of whether I take all my supplements or not, I can sometimes wake up in the middle of the night with excruciating cramps in my legs. And I will just get my marjoram out, rub it on, and within minutes, less than minutes, my legs will calm down and I can go back to sleep. And I get them so bad that I can't even get out of bed and stand on them. Yeah. So those are my two favorites right now. DiGis, I love DiGis. I put it, people have a love-hate with getting to know DiGis, and I just always encourage them, just try it. Start with it topically, but I think in your mouth is the bomb.com. It helps me with heartburn, indigestion, whatever my gut is not doing well. DiGis is a go-to. I carry it with me all the time. So those are my three favorites right now, but I could be pressed to give you 50 more if I had to. So there you go.
We'll let somebody else share.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandy. That's awesome. And you guys, seriously, if you haven't done DiGis under the tongue, she used to talk about that all the time. I was like, there is no way. Till I was desperate. And then I did it, And I thought, all right, it's not that bad. I can
It
do
actually
anything. I can
tastes
wash it
better than
down.
it smells.
It does. And it works fast.
Yeah.
That way. So yes. All right. Who else wants to share oils? Couple oils. Donna, go.
Actually, Sandy, thank you for telling us about marjoram. I've been using aroma seeds and I'll bet marjoram smells better. And because I use aroma seeds when I get cramps anywhere in my body. And I'm like you, they wake me up at night. But one of my absolutely favorite oils is Stress Away. And because it's the oil that actually helped me all the time when I was getting blood transfusions and iron infusions. I could be calm while they were sticking needles in me. And it was just great. And then of course I do like lavender because I told you about the bee sting before. And then literally I put it on that night when my finger's swelling and the next morning I could make a fist. My finger wasn't swollen at all. So that's just amazing. So that's a couple of them. And I
Awesome.
could use a lot more too.
Thanks, Donna. Sandy Rogers, did you raise your hand?
Yes, I did. Well, Digest is one of my favorites, but we've discussed that. Breathe Again. Oh my gosh, I don't leave home without that one because I have asthma and I use an inhaler. And although I can't completely get rid of my inhaler, I use Breathe Away. And a lot of times I can skip using the inhaler. I don't leave home without those two oils ever. And aroma seeds.
Okay. See, we all have, and one more. Alice, go ahead.
My two, the newest one is Season Essentials. Oh, you guys, I am telling you, it is amazing. I was teaching subbing in a classroom last week and the little girl goes, "Look at Mrs. Barnes," and her nose just running. I was like, "Oh, thanks." And I said, "Okay, now I'm going to need you to make sure and wash your hands." And of course, when they're in first grade, they don't. And so I ended up with a cold and I put that in the diffuser and I put it on my chest all weekend long. And I tell you what, I am feeling great today and I swear by it. And then the other one, Peppermint, starting into this warmer season. Peppermint is one that I put on my lower back or on my shoulder and on my shoulders. And then if I get real warm around my face, and it just helps like keep my temperature down so that I'm not as hot and sweaty, especially when I'm walking and such.
Perfect. That's a great tip for before you go walking then too, isn't it? So you don't get
Yes.
I'm going to start using that. All right. Awesome. I know you all have stories. So if you want to type in your stories or your favorite oils or whatever, we can come back to them too at the end. But we're going to jump to supplements next. Okay. And I will say, this is probably one of your favorites too, isn't it?
I love that.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Kirk talk about Detoxime. If you didn't know, this one's free this month at $2.50. So tell us why you love Detoxime.
Well, I heard Gary talk about it, and he said, you know, 'cause I have a bite guard because at night I grind my teeth. And he said, the reason you're doing that is your belly you're still digesting food. So your mouth wants to produce the saliva and what needs to go down there. He said, so when they were really, really tiny, I'd take 10 to 12 a night. And that really seemed to help. Now they're much bigger, so I've decided 5 is enough. I don't know why. I haven't muscle tested for it, so I've been
He
taking,
needs to.
I don't need to. But yeah, Gary said that would help with that, and I think it has. I still use my bite guard just because I don't know, but and it helps just finish up. You know, if you ate a light snack or something, kind of, and as you sleep, your body's dumping stuff anyway. This will help it move right along.
Okay, so this is a great supplement. It helps digest that food, especially if you're eating after 7 or actually after, I think Gary said at 5, our body stops digesting protein. So if we're eating protein, and most of us eat heavy protein meals at night, your body's not digesting. You need enzymes for sure. Okay. All right. Another one.
Kurt, is that the only enzyme you take then?
No, I take Essential 4 just like at a meal. I'll take anywhere from 1 double dose to 5, depending on what I eat.
Thank you.
Man, I'm gonna just say, I don't know how I lived without ends. All of them, I will just take a handful of whatever that crap I have because it's a game changer in making my gut better.
For sure. Sandy, you're cutting out a little bit. I think we got it, but you might want to head back toward your, maybe back to the inside.
I'm sorry, I'm probably leaving Wi-Fi.
Okay.
One moment.
Okay, so and along with that, Rhonda Favano, a good friend of ours, she would carry a small bottle of enzymes, and she literally, you guys, she just pours them all together. And then every time you sit down, they sit down for a meal, she gets them out of her purse. Frank puts out his hand, she puts a couple in his hand, she puts a couple in her hands, she takes them. And I'm like, what are you taking? She's like, I don't know, it's just one of the four, that we have. And she just, that's what she uses. So I personally love Essential Zyme 4. Just trying here, I have some here. They come in the strip. So you get this much. This is one dose, right? The two different colors. I love this for just digestion overall as well. And I often forget to take these until after I've eaten. I'll just be honest with you, when I feel like, oh, I ate too much. Take these, and within probably half an hour, I'm feeling so much better.
And the big chalky one, Gary said, chew that up before and let it kind of sit in your mouth for a while, and that will activate everything in your mouth, and then it'll help activate those enzymes in your system better. It's a hard chew. Let me get that. You have to suck on it for a while to chew it down, but it's good.
That's the Essential Zyme. Okay?
Yeah, the big force pill of them.
Yeah. So you gotta be really determined. It's kind of like, digest for the first time. No way. And then you do it and you're like, okay, it's not so bad.
Or how about Mineral Essence? Try
Okay,
that first time.
Tell us about Mineral Essence, Sandy.
Oh my gosh. Kirk Dimmler, my story includes you because I needed to take Mineral Essence, and you had fussed and whined about how terrible it was when you took it with water or something. And I thought, yeah, but he's a guy, so he's probably just a wimp about it. So I tried it in water too, and it is probably one of the most repulsive things I've ever put in my mouth. But I will say that I learned the value of Mineral Essence, and I at first I didn't want to like adulterate my sweet Ningxia with it, but now I don't like it, but I don't hate it in my Ningxia. So
Yeah.
Give it a shot. It might stink and be the grossest thing you put in your mouth at first. The essential zymes are the enzymes too, but once you experience the benefit, your body goes, okay, then maybe not so bad.
Exactly.
And I will say that if you add, the more water you actually add to Mineral Essence with your Ningxia, or because I have never liked the red drink, with your Ningxia and then the sulfurzyme powder and Mineral Essence and Vitality drops or whatever, until the last time I was sick a couple months ago. And I knew electrolytes were off. And so I actually added AminoWise, which all of those are too sweet for me if I do them one at a time, right? I'm like, oh, it's just so sweet. But I added them all in a bigger glass than this, a big bottle. And so 28 ounces probably. And I did Ningxia, probably 4 ounces of Ningxia, put in the sulfurzyme powder, put in the AminoWise, put in the Mineral Essence, because I thought it can't get any worse than all that sweetness. I may have done collagen in it too, and then filled it up with water. So I mixed that with a frother, filled it with water. You guys, I couldn't even taste the Mineral Essence, and it wasn't overpoweringly sweet either. So I could drink it. And I noticed by drinking that combo, which I recently figured, I thought it was a sulfurzyme powder, but now I think it might be the AminoWise, the combination of those two. I wake up every morning and I am not in pain anymore. Whereas before I'd be laying in bed and I'd get up and I'm like, oh, my back hurts or my feet hurt, or, just different things. I'm just achy when you get up, which is like, I should not be achy after I've rested for 7 hours. And now I can get up, and when I do, I have to do AminoWise at least a couple of times a week because it's out of stock. So I am rationing. Thank you. But those are making a huge difference. So Kirk, talk about PowerGize quick, and then we're going to open it up for other people.
Powergize, another great one for fellas, the fellas in your life. It again helps with testosterone levels and just energy levels for guys. I mean, I know y'all have testosterone in your system, but that is our happy hormone.
And if you are, if you're working out a lot, Powergize will also help with the workout recovery. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the, just a little tip, we used to have a big crate on our counter in the bathroom with all the bottles, and I'd open them and, take all the oils or all the supplements. I hated opening the bottles. It was such a pain. And it was such a pain to have all those sitting on my counter, right? So a few years ago on Amazon, I found one of these. It's a pill box for like medicine. You guys, literally, it is filled with Young Living supplements. Okay. And I can tell you what all those are. I do have it written down too for most of them, but we take these every day. I actually took a picture the other day of the supplements, and I'm going to post it at some point saying, can you tell me what's in this hand? And then I can do some education on it. But we literally take these every day. These are our medicine so that we are healthy, right? Instead of going to the doctor and getting meds, we have decided to supplement our body, because there are some things our body doesn't produce, with supplements, quality supplements. And we have literally reaped the benefits of that for all these years. All right, Alice, quick, why don't you talk about the K&B? Okay, just so that, because there's some questions coming in. So go ahead and talk about that. And then the rest of you can, I would love to hear from people we haven't heard from yet. So if you have a supplement story, go ahead, Alice.
I used to have UTIs all the time I can remember my kindergarten year. I couldn't go to school the first year because I had a UTI. So I'm talking like all my little life, I have had UTIs terribly. And when K&B came out, when I figured out about K&B years ago, it was probably 3 years into, so, like 7 years ago, I heard about it. I got a bottle of it and I kind of messed around with it a little bit. And then it went out of stock and I was like, oh, I can't get this. And so it's kind of like that. When you can't have it, then you want it more. And so when it came back in, I got like 3 bottles of it because I was like, oh my gosh, like I need this sometimes. So then I found out the little trick of whenever I would be traveling, whenever I didn't do good on my water intake, or whenever I could get like it's before the burning sensation. It's just like my bladder feels like, almost like it's like having little spasms. And I just don't feel comfortable when I urinate, or if my urine is very dark. In any of those situations, I do 5 droppers, big glass of water every hour, taking big glass of water. And then like every 4 hours, then I do 3 more droppers. And I am telling you, I haven't had a UTI since. Might be a coincidence, but I think maybe it might be helping.
Indeed.
That is awesome. And you guys, again, supporting the bladder, and she's being proactive. We don't have to wait till we have an issue and react. We can be proactive and support our bodies with products. And she doesn't have to use it every day. She uses it when she feels like, it's coming on, or when she's going into her times that she knows she's more likely to possibly experience one, right? And I love that story. Thank you, Alice, so much for sharing that. That's so good.
And what was
who else
what was the name of the product?
It's K&B, so kidney and bladder think of
Oh,
it
yeah.
that way. So K&B,
Yeah.
and it's a tincture. So it actually
Yeah.
comes in like a little dropper bottle, similar to this. Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
It's like Alice, I don't think I've had it.
it's like flowers. She says it's awful. I have a friend who says it tastes like flowers. So add it to Ningxia, add it to something that, the more you add it to, literally, you guys, the extra water helps dilute these down. Okay. Tinctures
And
aren't
it
supposed
tastes
to
like trees to me.
Okay.
It tastes like juniper, but like
Okay.
seriously, I can do a lot if it's going to keep me away from a UTI.
That's right. Way better. Okay, who wants to share? Anybody else with a supplement story, supplement testimony?
BLM. It's
Tell us
my
about
godsend for my knees. And they started to take it away at one point, and I'm like, no. And then they brought it back because a lot of people whined. And that is one thing. I make sure I have lots of bottles of BLM on hand.
Smart. Okay, so think BLM, think bone, ligament, muscle, right? So if you have issues around any of those things, bone, ligament, muscle, or again, if you want to be preventative, you don't want to have issues around them, that's when you would take those. Sarah, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So a couple of supplements that I really like are the Super B, which is wonderful for energy. Just absolutely fabulous. It really makes a huge difference in my day. And then another one that's I have to have around is Ningxia Nitro, the little tubes.
Yeah.
And those are just amazing. They give me insurance that I'm going to make a trip safely anywhere I want to go. If I'm traveling for 8 hours or 2 hours or whatever, I mix that with my Ningxia and take it, and it's just fabulous. I try to stay away from coffee. Not that I don't like it. I just know that there are healthier options. And so with the nitros in hand, I'm good to go for a good solid day's driving. So absolutely love that stuff. Don't want to be without it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Nitro specifically is for cognitive function. So if you feel like kind of the mid-afternoon slump, or when you're driving and you get really tired, that's exactly the perfect time to use it. I mean, you can use it for other things too, but that's especially a great wake up your brain. All right, one more supplement story somebody have?
Multigreens. I really like multigreens.
Oh, yeah.
That has really helped me with energy and yeah. I discovered that before we got Ningxia greens, and that helped me a lot.
Good. So Ningxia greens and multi-greens, totally different products, giving you totally different things, totally different benefits, okay? The only similarity is they both have Melissa in them, but otherwise they're totally different. So don't think, oh, I don't need one or the other. Well, and I'll do a training on that. But so
Yeah,
they're both-
do that, because I thought for a while that's what it was. And I was like, why, why were they doing, taking, and I was like, well, no, don't take my multigreens away,
No, they won't. Multi-green, think about multi-greens as more of the spirulina and the seaweed and that kind of the stuff that you use, and why the reasons you use those. Ningxia greens is fruit and veggies. Okay.
And Gary,
Okay.
you people with the O blood types, more is better for you.
Okay, what was that again? What?
If you have O type blood, either positive or negative, Gary said that 6 is better than 3.
For multi-greens.
So double it up.
Okay.
And I have O negative, so I double it up.
You might spread it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
throughout the day.
3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, or something like that.
Okay, because I have O positive blood.
There's 3.
It's
Okay.
3 twice a day.
Well, then it's 6.
So maybe you should do double that, or, go up for yourself. You need to try that for yourself, because you don't want to
Okay,
have tons of
yeah.
energy at night and then be like, oh, I can't sleep. Okay.
Hey, Britta.
Yeah.
For me, the turmeric, I like to dilute a little apple cider vinegar. And I found that when I add my turmeric to it, which I love, it almost makes it taste like Tang, and it makes it so much easier to drink.
Nice. So how much apple cider vinegar are you doing? And you're doing a 1/4 teaspoon of the golden turmeric?
Yep. And I kind of just pour in like a few teaspoons, maybe up to a tablespoon. And my mom buys it too, and she likes it. And she had been using sulfurzyme for her knees, and so have I. And like she got to the point where like she was out of her bottle, and she's like, Deanne, I need this. And so, and actually, since she started doing the turmeric, she feels like she doesn't need the sulfurzyme as much. So I don't know. It just I really like it a lot too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Share about your discomfort, things, because when we were talking about products today, he said we had just gotten out, our dog hurt himself this last week, and so I just went and got another bottle of CBD muscle rubs. I didn't know that Kirk had used it all, and so his comment was like, gosh, I forgot how much I love this stuff, right? Because I didn't know I don't use it. So he And so talk about your pain, what you realized today.
I kind of need to work through the different ones that help with that. Like Deep Relief, Pan Away, even Peppermint, Aroma Seas, and then the CBD rub. What's that other one with the P or the R? What's that?
Regnanolone.
Regnanolone, I didn't know what that was for, but that's great for my discover, especially in my feet after, walking around all day long or something like that. And I kind of, if it seems to not be working, I just switch to something else and find out what's going to work that day or that week.
Mhm. So think about it in those ways too. Oils, if you're more like, okay, I just want to use oils, think about basil and marjoram, Panaway, Deep Relief. But basil and marjoram are really good for kind of for inflammation, as well as muscle pain, and lemongrass for ligament stuff, that kind of thing too. So, all right, we're going to go a little bit long, but we're going to jump into some personal care products. Okay, two that I love is the Art Intensive Moisturizer. And if you haven't seen this, this is one of the, it's heavier than the light moisturizers that we have. I've used Art for 16 years. Okay. So when we started, probably 15 years. I love the Art skincare line. Okay. But I don't love the moisturizer because it always just feels it feels too light for me. So the Art Intensive, you actually just push on this top part here, and you'll see, this is new, so you'll see it come up there, right? So you want to push on the top, because if every time I can't open it, but every time I open it, I'm letting oxygen into the cream, right? Or into the moisture cream. And so what that will do is oxidizes, and then it can dry out. It can, get different colors. I don't know if you can see how pretty, it's just so white. But anyway, I do after I wash and tone my face every morning, then I put on Wolfberry eye cream. Now I wasn't able to do that for years until my eyes detoxed. And then this is the CBD Beauty Boost. Love this stuff. And I literally, so I have it here, my moisturizer, and I do 3 or 4 drops in that. I mix it up together. And then this is what I put it on my face, but I have makeup on. So I'm just going to put it on my neck. And you guys, I'll tell you what, my face feels so amazing. If I have any blemishes or, bites, that kind of a thing, it's so nice. It's so soothing. My face feels amazing. Sometimes my ears get, a little bit irritated, especially if I've worn earrings or something. And this is so soothing to those. They heal quickly. So these are 2 products I absolutely love. And then did you know, hopefully you all know, we have lots of lotions, and I have two lotions that I love. When my hands are really dry, it's the lavender hand and body lotion. This is my favorite. This is a thicker lotion. But I've also really last year and a half, maybe, really loved the Luscious Lemon hand soap or hand lotion. Because if you have areas of cellulite and just that you don't love, that Luscious Lemon is pretty dang amazing at just toning everything up. So make sure that you put that on at night, not in the daytime, because it is, it has photosensitive oils in it, but it is amazing to help with that. What's your favorite personal care product? 1 or 2?
I like the Shutron 3-in-1 thing for guys, because they make it just so easy. I can put that wherever I want to go. And I like the beard oil. It's kind of, I can't do it if I'm going to be going to bed soon. It kind of, because oily skin, oily beard. You don't want to get that on your pillowcase, but.
Okay. All right. My other one more favorite is our hand soaps. You guys, I literally, when I help at the library, and I will take hand soap with me every day, because the more I use commercial hand soaps, the drier my hands get. And so I will, you need to take your hand soap with you. Okay. I think my coworkers probably think I'm a little bit weird. I don't care, because I need my hand soap, right? And I can tell a difference. All right. So 2 or 3 of you who has a story on personal care products that you love, and why do you love them?
The Mirror cleansing
Mirror.
oil. I love it so much for removing my makeup And then also for using it to cleanse my face when I'm in Colorado, because the air is so dry that my skin gets really dry. So then I just use that as my cleanser. I know you're supposed to wash after it, but I just use that when I'm out there.
Nice. And you leave it on then? So you don't
Yeah.
wash it off? Oh, wow.
And then I go ahead and add moisturizer also. Otherwise I get so dry when I'm out there.
Fascinating.
Well, I use the Bloom products. I like the Bloom.
Okay. And do you have a favorite of that, or what are you noticing?
It's
from
just, it's just that it's a favorite. I just, I don't know. I started out with art for a while. I didn't use the intensive. Maybe I'll have to try that. But I went into the Bloom and I like it. So I don't,
Yeah. Do you notice that your face is smoother? Does it look younger? Does it look
Yeah,
brightening?
I would say it looked younger. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent. We all want that at our age, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? One more story.
Britta,
Yeah.
I
go ahead.
love the unscented shower gel because I always love to add my own scents to my lotions and to my shower gel. So I like adding geranium or bergamot or just it's so uplifting, and for geranium hormonal, and it's just so easy to add it to Young Living shower gel. And then I also add my oils to obviously the lavender hand and body lotion.
So when you're adding oils for the shower gel, are you adding them right to the bottle, or do you put some in your hand and then do a drop?
Sometimes I like geranium because I just love geranium. And so I've added that to not a full bottle, but I've added a number of drops to a half bottle. And then otherwise I'll be in my shower with a bottle of essential oil, and I'll put it in my hand first and then add a few drops.
Awesome. I've always kind of wondered how people do that. And there's no right or wrong way. I just, it's always good to hear stories.
Yep.
Luann, you got something?
I love the bar soap, the lavender oatmeal bar soap. My skin tends to be very dry, and by hands down, that's the best thing I've found for my skin.
Awesome.
I'll just add, I'm having trouble with the technology here, but for the bath and shower gel, I do the same thing, but I put it in a foaming dispenser. So I like that.
Nice.
That's great. And do you do it straight, or do you add extra oils to it?
I'll mix in, I'll put the oils directly in, and then I dilute it a little bit too. So it lasts longer and comes out foamy.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for sharing your stories. I love to hear other people's stories. So hopefully this was helpful for you. For those of you watching this, we're going to wrap this up. I want you to know we touched on just a fraction of the products that Young Living offers. So between, literally essential oils, personal care products, supplements, baby stuff, we have pet products. We have thieves, home cleaning products. We didn't even talk about the home cleaning stuff, you guys. There are so many amazing products that Young Living offers. And I just truly can say that after 16 years, first of all, there are always new ways that I learned to use things. And, even tonight I was like, oh, I've never thought about using some of these things in this way. And we always hear new stories. And so I hope that this brought value to you, and that you feel encouraged to, maybe use products that you have sitting around in a different way. Maybe it's, I have an issue and I'm not sure what to do, but I'm going to try one of the products that they mentioned. Or it could even just be that, I'm going to just order new things. When we got started, that's what I would do every month, is I would just order new things, even if I didn't know what to do with it. Especially, remember I said that they offered 10% off for a while. I always ordered that 10% off product, no idea what to do with it. But I always learned, right? And I discovered this. So hopefully that Young Living just came out with Red Cedar Bliss, which is amazing, and then Season Essentials. I really do recommend that you get these. Even if you don't know what to do with them, I'll tell you, because they're fantastic. but they always offer great products for us. And they do all the research for us, and then we can educate, right? Which is so fun. So if you're brand new to this and you're like, okay, there's a whole lot going on, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but I'm intrigued, get back with whoever shared this video with you, or contact me. And we would love to walk you through how to get your own products, whatever that might be for you, as well as to really educate you on getting started with Young Living. This is such a phenomenal company that I will say our recidivism rate, which is our people that stick to us and stick with us after years and years, is unheard of. And I would guess that out of the people on this call tonight that you heard from, most of them have been around for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. And I think Rhonda Keene Cohen has been around longer than I have even, And so that's the phenomenal part of this, is that people stick with us once we start having experiences, because there is nothing like these bottles of oil and the supplements that Young Living offers. So get back with whoever shared this with you and let us know how we can help you. We can't wait to welcome you into our community and to help you get started on your lifestyle journey. Have a great night.